Can we just have a conversation about using a business gas card to build business credit? I think this will be a brilliant topic, don't you think so? Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you are to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about how to use a business gas card to build business credit. The thing here is that, we've seen all the volatility in fuel and maintenance cost. And so in times of cost spikes, you might find yourself putting a higher dollar amount on your business credit card just to keep your fleet moving. Often, though, this is only a temporary solution and you eventually hit a bump in the road, your credit limit. So one possible solution to that problem is to make a call to your bank to ask for a larger line of credit. But banks are not always generous with small business owners. A fleet card, however, can actually help you pave the way to help you build business credit while at the same time keeping tanks full and vehicles running smoothly. So in today's conversation, I'm going to give you 5 steps, 5 simple steps. Step number 1, you need to establish your business as a separate credit entity. And this is very important, folks, because you want to establish something called a corporate veil. So how do you do that? You need to officially incorporate. You're not going to operate as a sole proprietorship. No, you got to have a business. You have to be structurally seen by the credit card issuer, by the business gas card issuer as a company. So you need to either be an S Corp, a C Corp, an LLC, doesn't matter, but you cannot be a sole proprietorship. You also want to get separate contact information. Gone are the days where you want to act, even if you are running your business from home, you want to have a different number. You want to have a different address. You can get a business address with a co-working company. There are gazillion options on the internet of how you can get a business address without a business. You want to get an EIN, folks. Very important. What is EIN? EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. So you can get there. You go to the IRS website. You just have to file. It takes about a minute, and you get the confirmation. You get the EIN ASAP. You need to register for a DUNS number, right? DUNS number. This is a number that DNB, Dun & Bradstreet, will issue to you. And you also want to set up a professional website and email address. And last but not the least, think about money matters. Think about establishing a separate business bank account. You want to segregate your personal finances from your business finances. Now, all of those things, it's not just one thing I'm speaking about. All the constellation of things that I just told you, those are things that will help you establish your business as a separate credit entity. And you need that if you want to use a business gas card to build business credit. Step number 2, I want you to understand what makes a fantastic business gas card. Now, of course, the term a great business gas card is objective. In other words, it depends on you, it depends on your fleet, it depends on your company, it depends on the kind of a business model you have. But based on our research, there are a few things, there are a few factors that you have to pay attention to if you want to have a great business gas card. It doesn't matter what kind of industry you're in. You got to have a few things in mind. Number 1, the type of rewards earned. Make sure that any business fuel card you are considering offers the types of rewards you want, whether you prefer flexible travel points or basic cash back. Number 2, the rewards caps or limits. You want to take note that many of the business gas cards that we have looked at, they actually offer bonus rewards only on gas purchases up to annual limits. So if your company spends, let's say, a lot on gas each year, you should keep these limits in mind. You also want to think about annual fees. Very important, folks, because some business cards for gas charge annual fees that can eat away at your rewards. So make sure to weigh the pros and cons of paying an annual fee before you choose a business card that charges one. What about free employee cards? This is very important. If your business has employees, let's say you have a large fleet and you have drivers on the road all the time, and you want a card that enables you to get free employee card, right? Free employee cards. And also, you need to think about cardholder benefits. You want to look for business gas cards that offer the perks you want. Major benefits to watch for include purchase protection, extended warranties, auto rental coverage, and more. And I just want to quickly I just want to clarify business gas credit cards versus fleet fuel cards. This is something that we have seen during our research. We've seen a lot of people confuse those two terms. So while the gas cards for business on our list on the what I'm going to talk to you today about, while those gas cards are great ones, you may want to look into fleet fuel cards if you own a transportation company with a lot of employees, because while fleet fuel cards don't offer the same type of rewards and benefits as traditional business credit cards do, they make it easy for companies with a fleet of vehicles to manage and oversee all their gas spending. So it's all about financial management here. Okay. Another difference in fleet fuel cards is that, generally speaking, these cards are only good for a specific network of gas stations and repair shops that can take care of vehicle maintenance on the road. Fleet fuel cards also offer more robust expense tracking and employee expense management tools that can be important if you have a lot of gas spending and workers to keep track of. So if you're trying to use a business gas card to build business credit, number 3, I want you to understand the pros and cons of business gas cards. You really have to solidify your knowledge of business gas cards if you're going to use them properly, especially if you're going to use them to reach your ultimate goal, which is what? Which is to build business credit. Why should you get a business gas card? What are the pros here? If you and your employees travel by car often, you will know that gas costs can actually weigh heavily on your balance sheet and income statements. So frequent flyers can get rewards for their journeys with business credit cards that are loaded with travel perks. But the thing here is that in our research, we found that those cards rewards typically focus on airfare and hotels. So not really useful if your team is usually in the car, right? And so for small business teams consisting of road warriors, you're better off with business credit cards that offer bonus rewards on gas. That's what you want to focus on right now. All right. So this is something that you have to think about. And also, you want to remember that business gas cards might reward spending in other categories too, like restaurants and office supplies. We know that gas keeps going up, and this is something you have to mitigate the risk. The risk of it's not really a risk, but let's just say the fact that you just need to control your gas expenses. So those are the pros. What about the cons of business gas cards? Why you may want to avoid a branded business gas card. Branded gas credit cards typically cannot provide your business with the best value. Let me give you an example. The Shell Fuel Rewards Cards offers one of the best gas discounts for a branded business gas card, a discount of about 10 cents per gallon. This is pretty cool if you think about it, but even that discount only amounts to a rewards rate of about 4% using the national average price of gas. And perhaps most importantly, that discount only applies to Shell gas purchases. Meanwhile, branded business gas cards with a more standard discount of 5 cents per gallon would only offer a measly 2% rewards rate. And again, they will still limit your rewarded gas purchases to their specific brands. It's all like they want you to stick to their ecosystem. And that's not really this is not really a great outlook, especially if you are in an industry where you want to have flexibility, you want to have choices. Not really a great outlook here. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. We are having a conversation today about how to use a business gas card to build business credit. So number one, establish your business as a separate credit entity. Number two, understand what makes a great business gas card. Number three, understand the pros and cons of business gas cards. Number four, you want to select a fleet card that suits your company's operations. You want to do a thorough analysis of your business. You want to do a thorough evaluation of the current situation and also projections about where you're trying to bring your business, and you want to consider certain factors. And factors to consider when choosing a fleet card include the type of fuel your fleet uses, the number of vehicles in your fleet, the geographic travel patterns of your fleet, and the type of business you run. And also you need to consider where can the card be used, because some cards can only be used in certain geographic regions or at specific fueling stations or repair shops, right? So make sure the card is a good fit for your location, travel patterns, and purchasing needs. And also, depending upon your speaking of purchasing needs, you have to think about what type of purchases can you make with the card, because some gas cards or fleet cards allow only fuel purchases, while others offer the ability to pay for vehicle maintenance and other vehicle related expenses. So a card with more options may offer you more flexibility to use credit in the way that works best for your fleet. The picture I'm trying to paint here is that you don't want to get a card, you don't want to get a gas card that is at odds with the kind of business you are running. Because the ultimate goal here is what? Is to build business credit. So you need to make sure that, you're going to have to buy gas anyway. So why not buying gas while building business credit? So you want to make sure the card you get is in sync with the kind of business you run. Okay, and so you want to think about what tracking and reporting tools does the card offer, because one of the biggest advantages of a fleet card or a fuel card one of the biggest advantages of a fleet card or a fuel card is the ability to monitor and control purchases for fleets. Let me give you an example. Let's say a fleet card might offer the ability to lock or limit spending based on certain criteria, receive alerts, assign a card to a specific driver or vehicle, track activity, and view reports on the internet. That's pretty cool. And you also want to think about what kind of discounts the card provides, because some cards offer volume discounts on fuel purchases. And so you want to tally up how much you typically spend, let's say per week or per month. You want to compare that amount to the deal the card offers, and you want to calculate how much the card can save your business down the road. Step number 5, I want you to use your business gas card optimally. And this is easier said than done. Why? Because business gas cards are meant for specific uses, and a lot of folks, based on our research, a lot of business owners, based on our research, don't use their business gas card optimally. So what you want to do here is you want to start using the business gas card as soon as you receive it. So you want to provide fleet cards to authorized employees, and you want to train them on what purchases they may make on the card. Make sure to take advantage of tracking and reporting offered by your card. This is very important if you want to optimize your business gas card utilization. And there are a few features that can allow you to monitor which purchases are made by which employees, and how to save money by reducing the risk of losses due to unauthorized purchases. You also want to, one thing you want to do, and it's very important when it comes to building business credit, is to pay your bill on time every month, just as you would with your personal credit cards. It's key to pay your fleet card bills on time every time to build good credit. You want to set up alerts and automated payments if necessary to help you manage your fleet card and actually build a new business credit along the way. That's very important, right? Because a well-managed fleet card can actually be a first step towards the future extensions of business credit. And you also want to think about how much control do you want to have when using a gas card, because the best gas cards for business will give you robust controls over the spending at your business. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a group of drivers who regularly drive on dedicated sales routes. you can give them cards that have preset limits on how much money they can spend each day. You can also limit each card to fuel purchases at the pump only so that they cannot try to make other purchases inside the stores. If you have other staff members who only occasionally need to drive to buy things for your business, you can authorize one-time purchases for gas. And if your employees later try to purchase gas with their cards, their attempts will be declined at the point of sale. So you'll be able to see how every employee is spending your money from your real-time dashboard so that you can address any problems immediately. And so by doing that, you're able to actually use a card that can help you reduce fraud. Okay? Because the thing here is that fuel cards may increase the convenience for your company, but they may not offer the robust controls that prepaid cards might provide. So so if you have a fuel card, make sure that you actually turn on all the features that I've been talking to you about so you can reduce fraud down the road. And step number 6, actually there are 6 steps. I think I said 5 steps earlier, but there are actually 6. And so I'm going to actually talk to you now. I'm going to give you a series of cards that will help you actually, like the great cards that we have here. Those are cards that you can use to actually build business credit. So we have ExxonMobil Business Pro. This is a card that can actually help your business in terms of saving fuel. And we have actually done an entire show on the best business credit cards for building credits. And this is actually the step number 6. Step number 6, you need to know the best business cards for building credit. And we have actually an entire show focused on this ranking. So we just took the data from that show and quickly we're just going to share that data with you in this show. So we have ExxonMobil Business Pro. We have rated this card 10 over 10. Is a great card. Shell Small Business Card 9.5 over 10. We have the Phillips 66 Conoco 76 Commercial Credit Card 9.5 over 10. And then we have Lukoil Commercial Fueling Card 9 over 10. This was our score. And we have the Chevron and Texaco Business Card. And we have rated this card at 9 over 10. And then we have the BP Business Solutions Plus 8.5 over 10. We also have the Sonoco Universal Fleet Card 8.5 over 10. And we have the Valero Commercial Credit Card 8 over 10. And we have the Speedway Business Fleet Card 8 over 10. And then we have the WEX Fleet Crossroads Fuel Card 7.5 over 10. Again, folks, I'm just giving you a summary of an entire show that we sort of committed to this ranking. And I'm just giving you, let's just say, a really just an overview of the rankings. But those are the best credit cards for building credit. The best business gas cards for building credit. So you want to really, really pay attention to those. I mean, in our analysis, we love the first 2 are great. The first 2 are wonderful. You have the ExxonMobil Business Pro 10 over 10 and the Shell Small Business Card 9.5 over 10. They are packed with rewards. For instance, the ExxonMobil Business Pro, you can save up to 6 cents per gallon of fuel purchases. And for the Shell Small Business Card, you can actually save the same thing. You can actually save up to 6 cents per gallon of fuel purchases and discounts at participating Jiffy Lube locations. That's wonderful. All right, folks. This was it for today's conversation. I was just speaking to you briefly about how to use a business gas card to build business credit. Number 1, you want to establish a business. You want to establish your business as a separate credit entity. You need to understand what makes a great business gas card. Number 2. Number 3, you need to understand the pros and cons of business gas cards. Number 4, you want to select a fleet card that suits your company's operation. And number 5, you want to use your business gas card optimally. And number 6, you want to know the best business gas cards for building credit. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.